Framelines takes a look at Arbor Avenue Film's latest short film, Eroded, shot in Central Ohio.
Hello?
Hey, sis, it's me. I didn't want to wake you, I just wanted to get an early start to the day.
That's all right. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just some errands to run. Everything's fine. Don't worry.
Now, Eroded is basically about a brother and sister who are trying to kind of make it through or live through the aftermath of a horrific car accident. On my off days, I would hang out with a friend of mine named Rafael Rosado, who is an animator, and he did storyboarding. And I went into his, I would go to his apartment and hang out and we'd talk. And one day on the wall was an image of this guy sitting on a park bench, and his face was coming up on the ground. He was like, there's a face out of the ground. I'm like, what is that? What's that? And it's just some guy talking to somebody in the ground. I went, And I kept going there, a couple of days here and there, and I would always see it. And I said, I have an idea that might work for this image. Do you mind if I tried to write a script based on this image?
So John had written this script called Todd, inspired by this art by Rafael Rosado. That was, to me, the most interesting parts of the script, and the things that resonated most with me were the things that came from, that were inspired by that drawing. And so it went in a completely different direction in terms of character arc or character backstory. John was very happy with what came out of that, and then we tweaked it from there. Our crew was big for an independent film. At its peak, we had, including cast on set, it was like 40 people, 35 to 40 people.
Production actually was funded by myself and with Phil. I actually funded most of it through, I took a loan out of my 401k, and a lot of people say, don't do that. But I had to. It was a story that had to be told, and I wanted to make sure that we had the tools to be able to tell it right, as far as I'm concerned. And one of the things that we've done in the past is that we try to have productions that have a certain production value. We try to make it look like a movie. So I said, well, I've got to rent the red, and that's what I did. And I have to rent a grip truck, and that's what I did. And I got all the tools for everybody on the crew to have so they can play. I was going to ask people who normally were doing commercials or on other independent features that are used to having the tools to work with. And I wasn't going to ask them to work on a movie and I'm showing up with a little tiny low light kit. I couldn't do that to them, If they were going to show up to our set, it had to be worthwhile. So that's why I did it.
Everyone worked for free. And that's something that when we've done these shorts, we've been fortunate to have enough people, to have these people who are interested enough, who like us, I hope, who have signed on to do these films. And the idea is that they get to work on something that hopefully they can be proud of also. We've worked hard to bring on a lot of people who maybe don't have as much experience so that they can get experience.
There was a lot of exteriors in Eroded, and normally in November you're running a chance of it being extremely nasty out. You can run into weather or even snow, it's rain or snow. But we were really lucky actually. The 4 days that we shot, we probably had an average temperature of about 50 degrees, which is actually really nice. So, and we had very little cloud cover. We had lots of sunshine, so we were able to shoot our full days without losing anything. It was actually worked out really well. The production went really smooth. During pre-production, we were able to schedule everything in a certain way, knowing how much time we had during the day and how much daylight we had. And I think we did really good at trying to make our days.
There were a number of scenes that had to be shot that were traveling scenes. There's a major scene in the film that takes place with 4 characters inside of a car, and that's a good half day right there. There are a lot of traveling scenes with our main character by himself, and how did we want to shoot that and cover it? So that proved to be, this is the first film that we've done together where we had a lot of that going on. So that was kind of a challenge.
We had a scene where it was a flashback scene of the day of the event, the tragic event, the car accident. And we had to recreate an argument within the car. And basically, there was a car mount that we would put on the hood, and we had a car mount on a sidecar mount that would go through the windows. So we put the car up onto a flatbed, and we towed it behind a truck, actually a Jeep. So we towed it behind a small vehicle, another vehicle. And I sat in the back with a monitor, and there's a driver, and the audio guy was back there with me. So we just drove around in a circle, about a mile radius in these roads over off of 23 South near Columbus, going down this empty road and just kind of going around and around and around for about 2-3 hours. And we'd move the camera from the hood to the passenger side looking to the driver, and then we'd move it to the driver's side looking toward the passenger, and we just covered it that way. Car scenes are kind of difficult because you don't have total control. You do and you don't. If you got to do it right, you got to take some time, and we had a little bit of time, but not all the time in the world, so you're always under pressure to get it done. But I think we did a pretty good job with it. All the footage turned out okay. And the audio was a little bit funky because it was so loud in there. We had a generator running because we had a light that HMI light that was blasting into the car, so we had a little putt-putt generator.
Hopefully with projects like Eroded and other quality projects coming out of Columbus and other cities in Ohio can really show people that outside of here that there are artists here, there are tradespeople here, there are craftsmen here who are doing good work on film and video, so that not just so we can toot our own horn, but that they know that there's good work being done here, there are good people here. If they want to bring a film here, that they can, that they know that there are people out there that can actually step up to the plate and jump onto their productions.
Framelines is brought to you in part by Backyard HD, Tape Central, Production Partners Media, and grants from the Greater Columbus Arts Council.